Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're really skirting of this one, aren't we? More evidence shows beer bug outbreak due to an accident at the Wuhan lab. Oh boy. Outsider host James Morrow says that the growing evidence suggests the beer bug may have happened in an accident at the Wuhan Institute of Virology during a study of bats linked to SARS-like viruses. They were studying a special kind of bat because they could because these what? They're studying special kind of bats because these could be the sort of things that could be another SARS-like outbreak from. Okay. Mr. Morrow said the Wuhan scientists were working with American researchers and diplomatic cables have revealed the US State Department was incredibly worried about the procedures at this lab. He told Sky News host Paul Murray that the lab may have been accidentally what happened, not accidentally in one of those wet markets. Those wet markets were very cruel and very disturbing and probably should shut down in any case just on general principles. We do have this video. Let's watch it and let's see what he has to say.
I want to ask you, James, you wrote today about where the virus comes from. As the days roll on, the idea of it coming from the wet markets, and I keep saying that until we know something different. Are you of the view that something was happening in a lab and unintentionally it's made its way out into the world?
Yeah, so look, we've all sort of been, I think, under the apprehension that this was something that came out of one of these wet markets. We've heard all the jokes about somebody eating a bat soup or, 2 all-bat patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and then somehow this whole, hellacious situation broke out. But no, actually, the interesting thing now is that there's more evidence that this may have happened in an accident at the Wuhan, I gotta say an accident, but at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now, they were studying these special kind of bats, which don't live around Wuhan, but about 900 kilometers away, because they thought these could be the sorts of things that there could be another SARS-type outbreak from. And in fact, they were working with American researchers because everybody wanted to figure out how to stop this from happening. Now, diplomatic cables have come out, Paul, which suggest that the State Department was incredibly worried about the procedures at this lab, that they were not following the strictest standards possible, and that something could somehow get loose. Now, this all fits the pattern of what we're talking about. Some sort of bat-based coronavirus gets out of some sort of circumstance, makes the jumps to humans, and then spreads like wildfire. That's where we are. And this is starting to sound more and more convincing to me, like some sort of research, not mendacious research, by the way, just research into, we've had SARS before, how do we stop this sort of thing from happening again? That this may have been actually where it happened, and not necessarily in one of these wet markets, despite the fact that those wet markets are very cruel and very disturbing and should probably be shut down in any case just on general principles because, they're stacking live wild animals of all sorts of types on top of one another and slaughtering them for customers, and that's got a whole range of other problems with it as well.
Right, so I'm going to tell you what my theory is regarding this virus. I reckon what was happening was they were studying it at this I can't speak. Philology? Well, whatever. They were studying it at this virus lab. And what I reckon's happened is they were studying it. Someone's had an accident. He was playing around with the virus. And I think what's happened is that he's knocked something over. It's gone onto his clothing. It's gone onto his skin. Maybe he got bit. I'm thinking the bit, probably getting bitten by this bat is probably nothing. I think if someone got bit by a bat that they knew about this virus, they probably would have quarantined him. So I don't think that. But I think that maybe he was playing around with the virus. It's got onto his clothes. It's got onto his hands, whatever it may be. And he's gone for break. He's gone for lunch. And they've gone through and they've put him through the disinfectant, the quarantine stasis, whatever it may be. But because it's communist China, the standards aren't quite there. He's gone on break. He's gone over to the wet markets to have something to eat, to get some tucker. And he's bumped up against someone who's just passing him. Someone's touched him. He's shaken hands with someone, whatever it may be. And he's passed the virus unwillingly onto them. Now, that person's gone home that night, kissed his wife, kissed his kids, whatever it may be, and has passed the virus onto them. Passed while also during the day, while he's been at the market, this guy, he's obviously starting to be infected. He's, maybe shaking hands with people, touching people on the shoulder, whatever it may be. So he's spreading the virus there. Then all of a sudden the wife, the next day, now has it because she was kissing the husband, whatever it may be. She's gone to work and she's shaken hands with business leaders, maybe her boss. She's given a female employee a cuddle or whatever, a kiss on the cheek, whatever it may be. And they've obviously passed it on to them. The kids, for example, they've now been infected because the dad, went and read them a bedtime story, whatever it may be. Kids are well known for passing on diseases, they're little petri dishes. So obviously the kids have gone through, they've shaken hands, picked their nose, stuck a finger in their mouth, gave someone a wet air willy, whatever it may be, and they've passed the infection. And before anybody's known anything, the virus has gone out, and it's out in the wild. And it's been 10 days now. People are starting to get the first signs of it. The guy in the lab, he's obviously fine because, maybe he got it off him or whatever. Maybe he didn't catch it, whatever. Maybe he was asymptomatic. But, the guy that was at the food market, maybe he's starting to show signs now. He's obviously homesick with the flu. His wife the next day and the kids the next day because he's thinking he's just passed the flu onto them. But meanwhile, there's now 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, whatever it may be, people infected with the virus. That is what I reckon has happened. I don't reckon China has intentionally released it. I don't think at the end of the day that it was I don't think it's the US military, I don't know anything like that. I reckon it was this lab, and I reckon it was the lack of standards when it comes to this lab. That's what's done it. The lack of standards is basically what's caused this virus to get out. And at the end of the day, that's what I think it is. I don't think there's any great conspiracy to wipe out the elderly population like people are suspecting or anything like that. And look, at the end of the day, obviously I'll have a look for these cables and all that over the next day or two. If I can find them, maybe I'll do a story on that as well. But at the end of the day, I don't think they link to them here. No. So at the end of the day, like I say, that's how I reckon it's spread. That's how I reckon it's got out. Now, I've been saying this for weeks. Every time I go to work and people ask me about it, I've been saying that's how I think it's got out. We're starting to think that, maybe I was right all along. Lucky guess, I suppose. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. How do you think this virus started? Do you think it was some Chinese communist plot to kill off all the elderly? Do you think at the end of the day it was the wet markets? Do you think it was a lab? Do you think it was the lab and they went to lunch at the wet markets like I was saying? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Guys, that is the third video for the day. We are done for the day. We will be back tomorrow night. Apart from that, guys, I have tonight off work, so for the next couple of hours at least, I'll be checking comments and replying. I'm trying to be a lot better on the comments. But yeah, apart from that, guys, have a great night. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Enjoy.